Hi everybody, welcome back to Mr Gard's maths class. Today we're going to be factorising expressions. Now factorising is the opposite to expanding, and in the last lesson we were doing expanding brackets. Generally speaking, the main aim is to find two or more factors that make up an expression. In other words, we are trying to find factors that make up each of the terms of an expression. In order to do this, we take a look at the green work. We need to find the highest common factor of each term and place it outside the brackets. So looking at the green one, the first step here is we have 4x plus 20. We need to find a factor, or at least the highest common factor, of both 4x and 20. We know that 4 can be divided evenly into both 4x and 20. So our highest common factor is a 4. Now, according to our rule, we need to place that 4 outside of a set of brackets. So it's going to be 4 multiplied by everything inside the brackets to get 4x plus 20. If we divide each one of those terms by 4, we are left with x plus 5. And to write it correctly, we just remove that multiplication symbol and it's 4 brackets x plus 5. You can see here that we've done the exact opposite to expanding a set of brackets. Now we'll move on to the orange section. Here the question has more elements to it. We have 3yz plus 9z. We need to find the highest common factor of each of those two terms. Initially, we will look for the number, and I can tell that a 3 will go into both a 3yz and a 9z. It is important to note also here that both terms have a z in it. That means both terms can be divided by z. That indicates to us that one of the factors is z. So the highest common factor is 3z. I can draw up my set of brackets. I can put my 3z outside of the brackets. Now when I have divided 3yz by 3z, I am left with y, and add that to 3. In a moment, I'm going to show you how you can check whether you are right or wrong. That way, you should never actually make a mistake in theory. Let's now have a look at the blue section. This one has has an additional element in that it has a squared x, or x squared. So in this case, we look at the numbers first to find the highest common factor. So the highest common factor of 12 and 18 is 6, and both an x will go into x and x squared. So I can write that as 6x outside of the brackets. Now 6x multiplied by 2 will give us that 12x from the beginning, plus 3, and don't forget to add that additional x in there, because 6x multiplied by 3x is how we get the 18x squared. A common misconception or mistake is to forget about that additional x. A way to check whether we are right or wrong is to expand our brackets. Here is that same question. You can check this by, as we said, expanding. So from the last lesson, we go 6x multiplied by 2, and we get 12x. 6x multiplied by 3x, gives us the 18 x squared. Because that's the same as what we started with, we can be 100% certain that we have actually done this and factorized the original question correctly. If you find that you end up with a different answer, that's a clear indicator that you've made a mistake somewhere and you need to check back through your work. Feel free to re-watch this. Remember, you could even have negatives. Negative numbers just need to be considered if you see them, because you can have a common factor that is negative. Thank you for listening and good luck.